This is a case of the Brooks.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Mr. Brooks, it looks like you filed this case. Tell me what's going on.
Well, actually, I'm here today because I really feel like my counterpart here, my co-parent, she is intentionally working just to not even pay or help out in child support. I am a full-time father. I'm also a full-time employee, and I don't get as much money on a week-to-week basis. And I'm really looking for just a little help or support in what we created together. And it seems like she's kind of trying to run out on her responsibility in this with me, and I don't think that's fair.
What do you mean she's trying to run out on her responsibility? What do you mean by that?
Meaning trying to dodge the fact of, getting this child support, or being able to pay something to help me out.
Have you ever asked her, ma'am, you'll have your opportunity to speak. Have you ever asked?
Welcome back to the courtroom, where drama, legal battles, and jaw-dropping revelations are always on the docket. Today's case? A father, Mr. Brooks, is fighting for child support from his co-parent, who claims she's unable to contribute due to a disability. But here's the twist. She's been working as a stripper, earning $65,000 a year before her injury. And wait, there's more. She's been hiding a fourth child from him. Yep, you heard that right. This case is a roller coaster of legal obligations, personal drama, and some seriously questionable decisions. Stick around as we break down the key moments, explain the legal rulings, and ask the tough questions. Who's in the wrong here? Should disability checks be used for child support? And what's the deal with that stripper pole injury? Okay, let's break this down. Mr. Brooks is a full-time dad and employee, and he's here asking for help with child support. He's not asking for the moon, just some financial support for their child's education, childcare, and basic needs. But here's the kicker. His co-parent claims she can't contribute because she's disabled. Now, under Texas law, disability income can be garnished for child support. So, is she really unable to pay, or is she dodging her responsibilities? What do you think? Should disability payments be fair game for child support, or is that crossing a line? Let's keep watching to see how this unfolds.
Asked her to pay child support or give you some money for the child.
Exactly. I've asked her to help out with some of the expenses that our child occurs throughout, even like a regular school year, or to maybe go attend different events, But
what type of expenses are you speaking about?
Well, I'm speaking of expenses maybe like as far as childcare, all right, tuition. Because I prefer that our child gets maybe a better education other than maybe what the public system will provide. And so I'm looking for just a little help on her behalf, this is something we created.
Okay, ma'am, what he's asking for is not unreasonable. You're not willing to do that?
Your Honor, it is unreasonable.
How is it unreasonable?
He knows I'm disabled, for one.
What is your disability?
I hurt my leg.
Okay.
So I'm not able to work as I would like to. And he knows that. He knows that.
You are aware, though, that in the state of Texas, you can be ordered to pay child support and the money comes directly out of your disability check.
I did not know that, Your Honor.
Yes, that's why you're here today, for me to inform you of that.
Well, I don't think that's right. Because
wait a minute, ma'am. But you think it's right for him to pay all of the expenses for the child every month?
Your Honor.
You answer my question. Do you think that's right?
No, Your Honor, but he's doing this because I stopped messing with him. I go over there.
What do you mean by stop messing with him?
I still go over to his house and we still mess around. And I just decided to cut it off because my leg has been killing me.
I mean, it don't make no sense you bringing that up here.
Well, you're trying to bring me to court. You should have thought about that.
You all will.
Wait, what? She injured herself on a stripper pole, and she's collecting disability for that? This case just took a wild turn. While it's true that workplace injuries can qualify for disability, the judge isn't buying her excuses. And neither are we. She was making $65,000 a year before her injury, and now she's claiming she can't contribute anything. But here's the thing. Even if she's disabled, the law doesn't let her off the hook for child support. So, what's really going on here? Is she trying to avoid her responsibilities, or is there more to her story? Let's see how the judge rules.
address me.
Sorry, Your Honor.
You will not address each other.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You all's rendezvous, that has nothing to do with this court proceeding and why we're here, okay? We're here to talk about money. Ma'am, that is a different court, okay? That's not, we're in support court. We're talking about child support here.
Okay.
And according to what has been presented to me so far, the child lives with Mr. Brooks, is that correct?
I would really say us, but he lives in his home, yes.
The child lives with Mr. Brooks, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Brooks, you are not receiving any type of child support, is that correct?
I'm receiving nothing from her at all.
Okay.
Nothing.
Ma'am, how many children do you have?
I have one with him, and then I have 2 others.
Okay, so you have a total of 3. And how much money do you make a year?
Well, I don't make any now since I hurt my leg off the pole.
What pole are you referring to? Did you run into a pole?
No, ma'am. I was working at Dallas Gentleman's, and he knows that, and he knows that's why I hurt my leg, and so he's been helping me.
Wait a minute, what is Dallas Gentleman's?
A strip club.
So you were working in the strip club, so you got injured on that pole.
On that pole, and he knows it, and he forced me to work there.
And you're collecting a disability check from falling off the stripper pole.
Off the stripper pole.
Okay, that's the first.
But that's why we don't have a
interesting.
relationship now.
But that's not what you said the other
Why?
day.
Excuse me.
Sorry,
Excuse
Yana.
me.
Sorry.
What do you mean by that's why you all don't have a relationship now?
Because she's spending all her time up there working on the pole for money, you know. But this is money that she.
But you know what,
for our
sir,
kids.
and you may not necessarily agree with her
It's
choice
not honest
of work,
living.
but she is making some type of money. And ma'am, you are going to pay child support.
How much?
You're going to pay child support. How much were you working when you were on the pole?
How much I was getting?
Yes.
I mean, I was getting close to about a night or a year.
Based on the documents that you turned in with your 1099s, you were making about $65,000 a year.
What?
He knew.
These documents are accurate, correct?
They're pretty much accurate.
Even whether he knew or not, you were making money and you're not supporting.
I am supporting,
shoot.
but I will say he does a lot. He does most of it because I am hurt and he knows that. So he's been pretty nice about that until now.
What do you mean he's been pretty nice until now?
I mean, until now, like I guess since I was, unfortunately still
with that again.
letting him, come over
Sir,
and have rendezvous.
you will have your opportunity to speak. Let her speak.
Thank you.
And I do not need you
Yes,
to
Your Honor.
echo me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now address me. What were you saying?
We would have our rendezvous, and he was fine and dandy. Fine and dandy. We've been doing this for 5 years. 5 years. He knows I've been stripping. And all of a sudden, he wants to pull me into court now because I stopped last week. So all of a sudden, now we're on the court docket to come into court because
Yeah.
you want child support because I
Ma'am,
stopped giving it up.
You really need to address me. As I've asked you.
Sorry,
I've
Your
asked you
Honor.
that
I do apologize.
more than once.
I do apologize.
Don't apologize, just do it. Okay. Okay, ma'am, your testimony is conflicting with the documents that you provided to the court ahead of time. You testified that you have 3 children and 1 child between the 2 of you, but according to your paperwork, you have a 4th child.
What?
Yes, Your Honor.
You didn't know she had another child?
Your Honor, I had no clue.
You were not going to tell this man that you have another child? Your child has another sibling. You don't believe that's important?
It's more than a sibling, but it's someone he knows, so I just don't think it's important for him to know.
I am not.
All right, let's talk numbers. The judge just calculated her child support obligation at $271.20 a month. That includes $271. $20 a month. That includes $163. $20 for child support and $108 for health insurance repayment to Medicaid. Now, considering she is only bringing in sorrow for health insurance or e-payment to Medicaid. Now, considering she's only bringing in $200 a month from disability, this is a significant chunk of her income. But here's the thing. The child's needs come first. Mr. Brooks is covering $115 a week in expenses, and she's suddenly been giving him $115 a week in expenses, and she's suddenly been giving him $20 every other week. That's not even close to enough. Do you think the judge's ruling is fair? Should she be paying more? Or is this too much given her disability? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. The judge isn't holding back here. She's made it clear, if the co-parent goes back to earning $65,000 a year, Mr. Brooks can request an increase in child support. And honestly, that's only fair. The child's needs don't stop just because one parent's income changes. But here's the real question. Should she go back to stripping to meet her obligations, or is it time for her to find a different line of work? What would you do in her shoes? Let's discuss in the comments.
About to play these games with you. You save those games for your old job on the pole, okay? This is a serious matter. You need to be paying child support to this man, okay? Now, based on, you said you received disability, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How much do you receive in disability a month?
Only $1,200.
Only? He's not getting anything from you. What do you mean only?
He's getting a lot from me, but okay.
Financially, he's not getting anything from you to support this child, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Based on my calculations, at $1,200 a month, puts you about $14,000 or so a year. So, giving you credit for the other children you have, your child support obligation comes out to $163.20. Who covers medical insurance for this child?
Anthony is currently on Medicaid.
Medicaid, okay. So, ma'am, considering you are the one that is going to be responsible for child support, you're also going to be responsible for the health insurance. That money has to be repaid back to Medicaid. It's a state agency. You have to pay it back. Therefore, based on what your gross and taking 9% of that, which is what you would be responsible for health insurance, it comes out to about $108. So your total monthly obligation is $271.20. That is to be paid on the first of each month, and it will be paid directly to him. Child support obligation and the Medicaid coverage. You understand, ma'am? Because you're looking very confused right now, and I'm confused as to why you haven't been giving him any money to support this child.
Because I've been giving him other things, Your Honor, and
What other type of things are you talking about that he gets from you?
Can you tell her what I give you, please?
I'm asking you.
Your Honor, I give him lap dances. I give him
Oh,
everything
okay.
you can
See,
think of.
that's too much. That's too much. I'm referring to anything that you give him for the child. Based on what you all do behind closed doors, your little secret rendezvous you have going on, that has nothing to do with in here. Financially, what else have you been giving him to take care of this child?
I give him about $20 every other week.
$20 every other week. Sir,
Ma'am.
about how much does it cost you a month in expenses for this child?
When you consider daycare as $115 a week, just to make sure she's getting a quality education, along with the expenses of clothes, food, entertainment, things like that. I would probably put another 100 or so on that.
There's no way he can live and take care of this child off of $20, ma'am. Your child requires more than $20. So, monthly obligation, $271.20 to be paid to dad. Mr. Brooks, do you have anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. Now, once she's healed from, her injury, she'll be back to making more money.
Okay. Yeah.
And so is that something that can be considered, or?
Oh, definitely. It can be considered. And ma'am, that's actually a very good question. If you go back to the poll and you make another $65,000 and this man comes back for an increase in child support, I can entertain that. Yes. Don't look confused. I can entertain that. As you get an increase, your child also gets an increase. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, how am I supposed to be able to afford this?
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe you can pick up another job.
That's all I know how to do.
Is what? Hit the pole?
Hit the pole.
Well, you might want to find another pole job. Anything further?
That'll be all, Your Honor.
Okay.
And that's a wrap on today's courtroom drama. The judge ruled that the co-parent must pay $271.20 a month in child support, including health insurance repayment. This case highlights the complexities of child support laws, especially when disability and unconventional income sources are involved. It also underscores the importance of transparency and financial responsibility when co-parenting. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.